So you're brand new to Sulfur, maybe even roguelites and extraction shooters in general. Welcome to the club, fresh meat. I've decided I'm gonna help you out. Whether you've already bought Sulfur or you're thinking about buying it, I went ahead and compiled some tips to help you out in the afterlife. That's right, Sulfur does take place in the afterlife, so stop being so afraid of dying. That is actually the roguelife of the roguelite. I hate myself too. Roguelites are all about repetition and discovery. Whether it's a new gun, a new enchantment, every run should feel entirely different from the last one. The difference between Sulfur and other roguelites out there is the inclusion of the extraction genre. Having the ability to leave and secure your loot, whatever you want to save, gives you the option of squirreling away your favorite loot for a rainy day. Just because you keep that stuff so close to your heart doesn't mean you shouldn't be afraid of losing it. Like it or hate it, part of the roguelite experience is learning to let go. But we do have some ways to avoid heartache and pain whenever possible, and let me tell you, it's not always possible to avoid that sorrow. In-game. That amulet of yours, keep it charged at all times. Oh, but Dot, I have to beat caves or the entirety of the game in order to get a charge on my amulet. How am I gonna do that with all of my shitty gear? For one, you could stop being a cheapskate and talk to the pipe smoker next to the grave, who can charge that amulet for just 1,000 Sulf coin. What's that? You just died and lost all your Sulf coin? Well, that was stupid. Next time, deposit some of that coin into your storage box instead of only using it to store away weapons that you swear you'll use next run. You swear you're gonna use it. You're not a hoarder. You're waiting for the right mission. There's a shared ammo and Sulf coin balance throughout all of your storages at church, as well as the universal pink box, which you can stick it in at any time. Real quick, for all my vets out there who must be thinking, oh my gosh, why is the homie Dot making a guide for Sulfy babies when us real vets out here, why should we watch this? I'm sure some of you know that I'm a bit of a scatterbrained dum-dum who's definitely going to forget some things that could be helpful. So it's your job to jump in those comments, add additional information to this video, or if you're feeling a little crazy, you can also respond to some of the other people that may have some questions that I might not have addressed. A lot of this, that's, and maybes, but just watch the video, all right? Come on, you might be able to help somebody. That's what I'm trying to do. We can all be a little charitable here and there. Ad break, please. You bought Sulfur and now you're an addict. Well, welcome to the club. Hopefully your friends and family respect you enough to wait around until you're done with this first fix. You're gonna have nights where you swear off the game entirely and curse the family members of the people that made it. That's not fun. I really like this game, but that is so demoralizing to the point where I don't know when I want to get back at it. That sucks so much. It's been about 3 hours since I said I'm not going to play this game until someone makes me. Just remember, this is early access, and early access is going to come filled to the brim with bugs because they're trying as many things as they can, and also, it's in the name. Early access. You're getting a chance to play this early. We should expect bugs frequently, and we should expect them to be fixed before 1.0. Those are the expectations from the consumer to the consumed. Sure. That makes sense. What I'm trying to say, in case that insanity didn't come through okay, is that there's plenty of bugs, and that's par for the course for any early access game. After all, that's how this works, this whole English thing. One massive tip that I can give you to help you avoid rage from a death that isn't from youngling, ignorance, or bad RNG, you know, like an update that wiped the Sulfur straight from your inventory and you still can't seem to find another pair of them no matter how hard you tried 2 months later, or a death where you like fall through the map or something. Those things aren't entirely your fault, so you shouldn't feel bad about save scumming. You're gonna want to back up that save file, fella. Don't worry, it's easy to do, anybody can do it, and I actually have a tutorial video, a quick one at that will show you exactly how you do it, but let's worry about backing up saves until after class, kiddo. So you got your fully charged amulet, plenty of ammo, tons of Sulf coin, and a lust for danger. It's time to get into the fray. But wait just a second, what are we doing all this for? Putting aside the fact that video games are arbitrary, even the devs said that at one point. Ow, the fuck?
Playing a game is arbitrary in general, so.
Yeah,
it's true, but it's fun. I mean, it's fun. It's better than most things, you know? Games are great. Like that.
Better than heroin or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that shit. Well, roguelites have meta progression, right? Why are you just finding guns and armor and some enchantments, but no like strength updates or extra health or mana when you go into a new run? First off, there's no mana in this game, dumbass. So why would that even come into your head? Well, guess what, partner? Sulfur ain't doing things the same way as their elbowing roguelite neighbors. No, the meta progression is tied to the extraction side of the game. In the roguelite genre, each run you're given rolls for perks and skills that determine how strong or weak you really are. Those attributes are all here, they're just hidden behind the chrome. Your blaster holds your power, and with an incredibly in-depth gun building system in place, you're able to craft up guns that even Torg of Borderlands fame would blast a nut at.
I'm Torg, and I'm here to ask you one question, and one question only. Explosions?
During your runs, you'll want to grab enchantments. There's two types, being oils and scrolls. Each gun can have one scroll attached to it and up to 5 oils. 4 oils if you decided to put a scroll on it as well. Unfortunately, the gun design system does come with a catch. Nothing's perfect, okay? In order to craft gun builds, you're gonna have to read. Oh, God, no. And also do some math, and if you have numbers dyslexia, that one actually does suck. Hi, how you doing? Notice with most oils, you'll see a negative and positive attribute assigned to it. I'm not going to spoil too many of the oils and their traits in this video. I want you to be excited on your own playthroughs when you find something new. But if you don't care about all that noise, I do have a gun building video which you could watch after this, you fucking nerd. So when building a gun, balance out the effects of both positive and negative to make something comfortable. Take everything into account, because once those oils and scrolls go on a weapon, they ain't coming off. At least that is the system now in early access, but the developers, Perfect Random, have shown they're very keen on keeping up with community suggestions, so things can and will change with time. Take weapon attachments, for example. You can swap them out at any time with the workbench next to Queen Ralphie. That's a new luxury that we got a few months into early access. Am I saying that we'll eventually be able to remove oils and scrolls, enchantments from our guns? No! I am saying in early access nothing can be ruled out. Just look at many of my old videos, especially the guides, that can only be considered misinformation to those who refuse to read the upload date. There's a serious problem with shotguns in this game. Like, most of them suck. Just base, they just suck. Ranking up your guns is easiest in caves. Those goblins in there, they're a bunch of dumbasses, except for the elemental ones. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. So if you're hurting after a botched run and you need to build up your loadout and rank up your guns and everything, caves is a great option, but it's not the only area. This video is intended for new players, so I'm not going to be addressing the more difficult areas that happen after caves. We even have some more on the horizon, which you can see on the roadmap on the Steam page. If you were wondering, there is a roadmap for early access. Probably something I should have mentioned at some point, which I am mentioning right now. Why am I so hard on myself, man? Just like, you're okay, you're doing all right. If you're indecisive on how you want to enchant your guns, you can visit the hideous little piece of shit that we keep locked up in the attic, Kevin. Not only does he have a varying selection of oils that you could choose from, but he also has unlabeled oils that will give you random oils when you put them on your guns. Ain't that fun? He's a straight up cure for your indecisiveness. You can also mix the magics with Kevin, which will allow you to take 2 scrolls to combine them and make one bigger, more powerful, stronger, greatest, most awesome, coolest scroll possible. That was stupid. Just like it would be stupid for you to lock in that water scroll onto that Catacoil Rapid X. Don't do it, son. It's not too late to walk that idea back. Kevin's not the only vendor slumming it at the church. He's just the most unlikable. You got Stiffleg, who's your good old-fashioned arms dealer. Not enough legs to stay in that line of work. And of course, this sexy beast, Ralphie, who will help you get stuff like scopes, laser sights, and even silencers she fished out of the dumpster from behind her. Put that stash money to good use and check the vendor's inventories before you go out on any run, because they will refresh after about 10 minutes in an area. If you choose to speedrun caves, you're gonna come back to the same garbage you had in there before, so just take it slow if you're trying to refresh what they're selling. You can also find other helpful vendors that are in the thick of it. The non-violent NPCs will always offer you something to buy. See what they have to offer, because some areas have exclusive vendors. You know, exploration is a must in this game. Be careful not to gain too much and get a healthy meal in you, but I mean, I guess there's not really any healthy meals in Sulfur, per se. That doesn't matter because cooking and consuming are a big part of the gameplay here. In the before times, we had to memorize every recipe. You new kids, you got it real easy, let me tell you. Now you just gotta click and drop and you'll log a recipe into your recipe book. It's honestly a great addition, and you should expect more quality of features like that as we go through early access. Yeah, these devs who love to hear when you get cornered by 3 dogs in a sketchy section of caves, they want to make sure it's comfortable when it happens. Since you're new, you're gonna want to play around with mushrooms, not the one in your pants though. Knock that off. Try filling the table with different combinations or all of one kind. Once you see the little button light up, go ahead and click it. It's like gambling, but not random and yet still satisfying. How do they do it? Again, I'm not here to spoil anything, but one of the best recipes you can make in all of Sulfur can be found in caves. That's all I'll say. Also, some food won't heal you, but it'll give you game-altering effects. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Oh, I almost forgot, your guns and armor get hungry too, so make sure to keep an eye on their durability. If you're about to head out, you could talk to Ralphie and she'll stitch you up real good, or you could spit on her amazing traits and abilities by using a repair kit, but personally, I would save those for when I'm out on a run. Alright, amulet charge, check. Ammo and Sulf coin aplenty, check. Weapons and armor full durability, check. Bloodshot eyes and early signs of carpal tunnel, check and check. It's time to dive in and get to spelunking. Looting is the name of the game, and you're going to want to check every nook and cranny because not everything is just going to be out in the open or behind the skin of an enemy. It's often hidden inside of a chest, but like a chest, like an actual chest, not like the enemy's skin chest. Stop worrying about the enemy's skin. Chests will come in 3 different shapes and sizes, actually the same size and shape, but the colors will be different. Black chests will have guns, red chests will have armor, and brown chests can have anything at all. That's RNG at its finest. Just because you'd rather chuck something doesn't mean it's not worth its weight in gold. Sulf gold. If you have the inventory space, make sure to carry around some extra guns, oils, treasure, and especially scrolls because they sell for a whole lot of scratchola. Even the oils did at one point, but I guess the oil pricing market bubble burst, and now, I don't know, them shits is nerfed. Body parts can also fetch a pretty coin, and they might even be able to be used in some recipes. They can be used to make some food. There might even be an NPC who'd be interested in taking them off your hands or your eyes. No, don't use that one. That actually brings us to a good point. Those vendor NPCs aren't only just there for you to scrap your trash for cash, they're also lore dumps. Even the devs have said that not a lot of people know the lore.
Because I've been spending like so much time writing like thousands and thousands of lines of dialogue and translating to 15 languages, but in reality, like there's only for the people who actually like, oh man, I really love lore.
I mean, not even like
really need to read any of that shit.
The development team hasn't read the whatever Simon wrote.
Yeah, but when I explain what the game is about, they're just like, oh.
This is real. This is true.
Gameplay is at the forefront here, no matter how hard we make Simon work for it. We appreciate it. Eventually, we'll get around to it. We'll learn. Find your perfect kit. Play around with all the wacky guns. There's like over 40 of them or something at this point. So there's a lot of uniqueness there. Some more than others too. You're already doing a whole lot better at this whole Sulfur thing, just from this video. Wow, what great value. But we're not done just yet, buckaroo. There's a large roster of enemies in Sulfur, and they're pretty much locked into their respective areas, but you will see them crop up in other zones, although you should be able to get a knack and an idea of where some will spawn in the procedurally generated areas. Pay attention to how the enemy acts. How fast are they? Do they have a gun? What's their ideal first date? Use this info to take them down. Some of them will just take a couple of dirk headshots, and then others might take a whole half a clip just to take the creeper down. Combat's pretty obvious in this game. You shoot at stuff. But wait, some of that stuff does shoot back. How unfair is that? Here's a quick tip. If an enemy ever starts to shoot at you, they will always finish their shots. So if you're facing an arrow to the knee or a bullet to the cranium, duck behind a corner and wait it out. You'll know because you'll hear it, dude. A big strat you're going to want to implement at some point in your Sulfur playing time is kiting. Kiting is leading one or more enemies in a group as you are their leader. Keep your sights on them and sprint backwards. That's advanced calf technology, buddy. And shoot them as they follow you. Never stop moving because it gets harder as they come closer and closer to closing the gap. Wait, what? When you move, your bullets go all over the place? I mean, I guess that could be the weapon spread. It is, because the devs wanted the shooting to feel somewhat similar to Counter-Strike's shooting system.
This is not the way I saw myself getting banned.
It's just gotta be quick.
Oh no!
Moving and shooting will put you at a disadvantage unless you have the proper enchantments or attachments on a gun that will help you minimize that effect. No matter what, you're still gonna have to shoot your shot, otherwise you risk dying like a bitch. If you're about to die like a bitch, remember to use that fully charged amulet you promised me you would take in. You could use it to teleport back to the church at any time, but remember there is a small attack window for enemies to kill you while you're pulling it out and while you're disappearing and everything. It's best to be cautious when whipping it out. What else? What else? Could there be some bosses or mini bosses? I don't know. Maybe. Look, it's a video game. Video games have bosses, and Sulfur is no exception to that. If any of you want a video where I break down the bosses and the easiest way to kill them, let me know. Because just like Perfect Random, I'm very receptive and handsome. All this was quite the mouthful, but I think you should have a better understanding of how Sulfur works, so get back in there and enjoy the ride, my new friend. And to you, why didn't you buy Sulfur yet? Didn't you hear all the crazy shit that this game has to offer? Doesn't that sound awesome to you? Come on. Indulge and join the cult. You won't regret it. I guess my job here is done. Not just yet, partner. In a moment, I'm going to thank the members of this channel. Sup, gang. But after that, I plan to have a segment where I scour the internet for answerable Sulfur questions, so if you'd be interested in seeing that, it might be a little bit messier than this whole part of the video, 90% of the video, but it might also provide some useful information for you and your friends. Just your new Sulfur friends. But you know who's never messy? The members of this channel, who I do want to thank so much for choosing to support me and my family. You guys don't have to do this, and you do it anyways. I seriously appreciate every one of you. Thank you. The other sweethearts of Sulfur are the vets who are going into the comment section right now to give extra information and even help some other newbies with questions they might have. I see you. You're doing your part. Now let's turn to some random strangers who were never expecting someone to showcase their moment of ignorance. So expect some spoilers because I'm doing this on the fly. Where to find Bo? I don't even need to read the rest of it because the bow and arrow, which is called the Impala Gravita, can be found only in the forest or any chest, actually. It's not only the forest, it's just part of the weapon loot pool. So anytime they add a new weapon, it just enters that pool and there's a chance for it to drop anywhere. Good question, good question. Okay, so this guy's pissed off, apparently. Angry at the game, and I also love it. I feel the only way the game can beat me is overwhelming me at the start of a level where I can't backtrack. I really think this is bad game design. City 3, rifle dudes, 5 dogs and 10 brutes. Sigh. So once again, you have a fully charged amulet, right? You don't ever have to die. It's up to you how much of your balls you want to lay on the table. If you're willing to sacrifice yourself to prove to yourself that you can do it in that moment, you don't need to run away, that's fine, but you should always take the opportunity to run away if you're, not about to live, Stay alive. You don't have to die. So this guy's asking about the console release, which brings up a good point. Console release isn't happening until at least 1.0. We know that for sure. Actually, yeah, it looks like I like this one. This was from 9 days ago. We honestly don't have a crazy amount of people saying stuff in the subreddit. You know what might have some good questions or lousy concerns is the Steam reviews, which we've actually covered once before, and they were fucking hilarious. And some of them are actually really insightful. This music is cool, especially the Witch House tracks. However, they keep replaying, which ends up being annoying. Bro, that's how video games work. First impression, saved and quit after the first boss. I didn't like it. Fine. Gameplay is fun. I can't recommend it right now. A few major things need to change. Beat the boss on my first try, then died instantly on my next run to a trapped chest. Remove those from the game. What the fuck is a trapped chest? What is that? Does anyone know what he's talking about? What's a trap chest? I have 400 hours in this game, and I have not one clue what they mean by that. Just give player the recipes. Don't make them go to a wiki to figure it out. It's not fun. Sure it is. This isn't a game about hand-holding. That's something I can tell you about Sulfur. It is about the difficulty. The hard is part of the charm, so nothing is ever going to hold your hand. It's supposed to be difficult. Some other type of meta progression for the character town. They make each run somewhat rewarding. I don't know. Maybe like learn the gun crafting. The gun crafting can be a little difficult, but it is fun and very rewarding when you make something that is powerful and cool to use. As it stands, just can't find any reason to recommend. At this point, it's so bare bones it just feels tedious. 1 page for storage room. No, can't quit and resume in the dungeon, etc. Will probably end up a good game, but it's got a good ways to go. So both of those points are wrong. There is multiple storage items that you can find throughout the game. I think there's like 5 or 6 and possibly more to come. There should be more to come. They've said it before. And you could quit a run at any time by pulling out your fully charged amulet. You could just go back at any time. Seems filling with some woke shit. Who the hell says woke shit and then like censors themselves? What? I don't want to be too negative, and this is clearly where this is led. It's just kind of hard to guess what people might have as questions, and now hopefully all of your questions are answered after watching this video and scouring the comments, or even joining the Discord, which we do have a Discord, the TMU. You could find it in the YouTube About Me section. There'll be a link there for you to join. But I think Soggy Hot Dog's confusion on how a review should be made also leaves me pretty confused as well. I think Soggy Hot Dog wants like a middle fucking option for reviews, because I don't get this. While this game is fun and I adore the art style, it's far too hard for me. I guess it is a personal thing. So much so that it affects the gameplay. I tried for an hour and a half and couldn't get past the first level. I'm confused if they're saying they're in the first area of caves just dying over and over again. The whole thing is confusing. Oh, somebody found it fucking hilarious. They had to put the jester and the laughing guy. That's so silly, bitch. Ow. I hit my hand on the mic, which seems like it's probably a good time to go, because I'm starting to lose it a little bit.